Greetings fellow traders, this is Max and welcome to my Sunday market analysis where I'm going to analyze the market and share with you my top trades for the upcoming week. And I have 4 pairs on my list this week and 3 pairs are marked with my yellow marker. Those are some pairs from last week which we will have a look at later in this video as a brief recap on how they have performed, so stay tuned for that until the end of this video. One of the 4 main pairs this week is GBPCAD, and GBPCAD is just going to be a quick trade update on my currently running trade there. It's a long position which I shared in my free Telegram channel, which you can join at any time. Link to that is in the video description, and I will show you and talk about how this trade is performing so far. So without further ado, let's start here with the pair CADCHF. So on CADCHF, I was looking for a long position and I actually still am. If you remember, this pair has been on last week's list too. My plan was to wait for a retest of this area of interest and the round psychological level. And what you can see here is that the pair and the price has actually come back down into the area and it has left a really big green daily candlestick here. So I cannot enter right now, but what I want to, or when I want to enter, is when the price is giving me a higher low here, then this would be my entry signal with a small shift of structure so that I then open a long position here on CADCHF. This is going to take a couple days, or no, not necessarily a couple days, but it might take 1 or 2 days depending on the price movement. I definitely want to wait for Monday London session to start before entering the position. My personal feeling about this trade is kind of mixed because it's CHF and CHF has been relatively strong in the last months, and this would now indicate a reversal that it would lose some strength, which of course could happen. But it also has CAD, so the Canadian dollar, in this pair, which I am currently shorting with my long position in GBPCAD, but we will see about that. And what I would like to see is a short liquidity grab still below the zone at around psychological level here, a neutral day, and that would be the most ideal entry for me. And as you can see, it's also kind of forming an inverse head and shoulders pattern here. So this is kind of for me a double confirmation that this could be a small reversal now. As you know, the inverse head and shoulders pattern is supposed to indicate, or is supposed to show some bullish price movement, and it's indicating a reversal if it's at the end of this long downtrend here. So as I said, this is some additional confirmation for me. So let's have a look at the pair EURAUD. So EURAUD is for me a long opportunity here. If I start on the weekly chart, you can see that the recent weekly candlestick has closed as a really big weekly green candlestick here, leaving a big wick to the upside, and it has slightly closed above the 1.78 round psychological level. So this is now for me a sign that there could hopefully be a wick fill in the coming week. And on the daily chart, we can see that the recent daily candlestick has closed very neutrally. So the next one might be a green one, as we had below here. We had a big green daily candlestick and then a neutral close with a wick to the upside. Same happening here. So maybe the next candlestick is going to be green as well. And my first profit target would definitely be the zone above here. Right now, I'm looking on and checking on the lower time frame here for a proper enter signal, a small liquidity grab to the downside, maybe some 50 EMA rejection, and then a clear bullish long signal would be ideal for me to open the long position here on EURAUD. But it's important to be patient here and just monitor price movement and see what it's doing. It seems to be rejecting the 50 EMA on the daily chart, which is good, but as I said, patience is key. So this will be my plan for EURAUD. Now let's go to GBPCAD, and GBPCAD is currently the pair with a long position I am in right now. I have entered this long position down in this area here after I had gotten stopped out. This was the area where it triggered my stop loss order, and then the price movement looked to me as if this is still going to be a continuation to the upside. So I entered this position here again in this kind of small cup and handle pattern formation. And now the price is looking to me as if there could be a continuation to the upside, with my profit target being somewhere in this area here. We have a morning star candle close here on the 1 hour chart, which is the bullish sign for me. And even the daily chart closed relatively neutral, not too bearish in this context. We have a big green daily candlestick, which is indicating some bullish power here in the market, and even the weekly chart has closed green, not neutrally. This is not telling me much about the whole movement, but on the daily chart I really like this daily close, and on a lower time frame the structure that we haven't created any new low, that we are potentially rejecting the 50 EMA right now, and I see a continuation to the upside very likely. So if you want to receive regular updates on my trade, you can just join my free Telegram channel, link to it in the video description. Now let's talk about USDCHF, which is also on my list, and I am looking for a potential long position here. Also CHF in the pair. CHF has been really strong, but maybe it's time it will turn around now. If I start on the weekly chart here, you can see the green weekly candlestick close, leaving a big wick to the upside. It has just closed a tiny bit above the 0.805 round psychological level, which is giving me mixed feelings, because I'm expecting a wick fill where I open my long position and then there will be the wick fill, so the move to the upside. It does not really look nice when the weekly chart is closing. Yeah, I would call it squished. And on a daily chart, there is a neutral daily candlestick close, which is a good sign for me. It's around and above the round psychological level and in the area of interest. And this neutral close could indicate that the pullback has ended here and there will be a green positive day now, and the structure is shifting again, so the price might continue higher to the upside. The lower time frame is also looking quite good. We are liquidity grabbing and maybe rejecting the 50 EMA a tiny bit. I will watch it closely, maybe give it a day or a little longer, depending on the price structure and how the price is moving. We're in the very low time frames. I want to see a push up, a higher low, and then the higher low could be my entry signal to open a long position on USDCHF. So this is going to be my long trade here. Even the monthly chart is worth looking at. But we haven't created a really nice wick down here during this month, but there are still 19 days left, so maybe that will happen. And this is looking like a morning star formation, so this could also indicate a complete shift of the direction so that it might head higher now. But again, it's important to be patient here, but this is one of the trades I'm currently looking at. Now let's have a look at some pairs from last week and see how they have performed. And we'll start here with the pair AUD JPY. So the plan on AUD JPY was to wait for a retest of the zone here. After a liquidity sweep, I was looking for a chance to enter a long position here. And what you can see right now, that the price is actually in the zone, even around the round psychological level. And on the lower time frame, this could now be the chance to enter. It has not made a new low here, so this is basically like some kind of equal low. We have a potential double bottom formation here. What would be ideal for me is to wait for a push a little higher, then again a retest of this area, and then that could be my entry signal to open a potential long position here. But it's not on my list this week for a reason, because the weekly chart is not looking like it is time for it to have the continuation to the upside. If you look at the overall uptrend here on the weekly chart, you can see that it has at least roughly followed some kind of trend line here. I usually don't use trend lines, but I'm just taking them as an indicator for me in this context to see if a shift of the direction now, a continuation to the upside, is very likely to happen. And right now it's indicating to me, even if we shift it to the upper side, that it's still in its correction phase. Also the lower time frame price action is not really clear to me, so I will rather skip this trade instead of just hopping on this trade and then get stopped out, because I just didn't want to look at it critically. The next pair was Euro GBP, and this pair has been on my list for a potential long position as well. So the plan was to wait for the price to come back into the area, sweep the liquidity, give me my entry signal, shift of structure, and then open a long position here. But what you can see is that the price hasn't even reached this area yet. So it's still time for it to have the correction. The weekly chart is not looking really convincing to me. And if it's getting back into the area now, I think I will just skip this trade and skip this pair and see how the price is behaving here, if it's going to have a bigger correction to the downside or if it's actually going to continue to the upside. Both could happen in my opinion, but I'd rather leave this trade now and skip it, since the structure is not giving me a clear direction. And the last pair is USD CAD. And the plan on USD-CAD was to wait for some kind of higher low here after I have missed the chance to open a long position here. So the higher low would have been my second chance to open the position, or more like a bigger correction into the zone here, rejecting the 50 EMA. That's what I was looking for last week, and price hasn't come down into this area again. It just continued to the upside. So that trade is completely gone for me. The direction was correct, but it just did not give me the signal that I needed in order to open a long position on USD-CAD. So it's a missed trade, but that's totally fine. The direction was correct, but I never got my entry signal, so I'd rather skip this trade then. And that's already it for this week's Sunday market analysis. I've analyzed the other pairs too, but I did not find any nice convincing trade setups. However, I've set price alarms, and if any of those alarms is getting triggered, I will have a look at the respective pair again and see if it's providing me a solid trade idea. If you want to get notified whenever that happens, or if you want to receive regular trade updates on my running trades and see whenever I open or close a position, then you can just join my free Telegram channel. I will put the link to it into the video description. If you have any questions, just let me know in the comments below and I will try to answer your questions. Thank you for watching. I wish you a successful trading week. Remember to manage your risk properly, and see you next Sunday.